What's up, guys? Welcome to my channel. This is Living in Alberta. My name is Kyle. Look, I get a lot of people reaching out to me right now because of the change weather outside. We're heading into winter, about moving to Alberta in the winter. So today we're going to talk about some things to expect, touch a little bit on the real estate market, and maybe we'll offer a few tips and advice if you're thinking of moving to Alberta in the winter. All right, let's dive right in and let's talk about what to expect with winter here in Alberta. Now, it's super unpredictable from year to year, from day to day. For example, last year, November 1st, we had a metric crap ton of snow and it was right around the minus 30 mark for a couple weeks. It is December 5th today, 4th, I can't remember what day it is. And it is plus 10 outside. We've had no snow this year, maybe, well, I wouldn't say no snow, but just a little bit. There's still lots of grass outside. It has been ridiculously warm, and the 14-day forecast right now, all the way up to like December 19th, we're right around the 0 mark. So this winter is crazy warm. It's a total anomaly for sure. There's only been one time in my life where there hasn't been snow on Christmas, and maybe this is going to be the second time. Now, again, things can change from day to day though. So we could be plus 10 today and all of a sudden that you check that weather app and in a few days from now, it's gonna be minus 30 and there's a blizzard coming in.
And this weather is treacherous.
It's like the weather's changing.
So I know never to get too excited because Mother Nature, it's kind of like she's fattening us up for the slaughter before the kill. You never know what you're gonna get. Now, if we talk about kind of average temperatures here in Alberta, throughout the wintertime, you're looking from anywhere from usually about minus 5 to minus 20, minus 25. And then of course we get those crazy cold snaps where 1 to 3 weeks, you're looking at minus 30 and even minus 40 with the wind chill. This can happen 2-3 times throughout the wintertime. Now, road conditions, man, they can be just right dreadful sometimes. Again, this year, super good. It's been amazing. However, after a big windstorm or after a big snowstorm, after lots of blowing snow and lots of snow, those roads can get super icy, and a lot of the time, oh man, you're not going anywhere unless you just have to go to work. And sometimes the roads are even so bad that you're not even gonna go to work, depending on what you do for a living. Now, they're usually really good getting the sandy trucks out. So remember, drive super slow, give yourself lots of time for where you're going. And if you're living in the city, like Red Deer, for example, which is my area, the bus routes, they get plowed really well. So sometimes a lot of people don't want to live on a bus route because it's kind of a little bit busier. However, your street is going to get plowed much quicker. Sometimes on the other residential streets, man, it can take, sometimes they don't even plow them throughout the winter, maybe once or twice, and you're getting, you know, that much snow packed down on it. So they can be pretty rutty, pretty bumpy, not the most ideal.
You shovel that walkway before it turns into ice. I'm stuck.
As a reminder, I am a licensed realtor in the province, so if you would like any help making that move, you can use this information popping up on the screen. Get a hold of me any way you like. All right, now that we've kind of touched on what to expect with winter here in Alberta, let's touch upon the kind of the seasonality of real estate in this province. The busiest time here in Alberta, and just like most places, is the spring market. That's where you're going to see the most listings. That's where you're going to see the most buyer activity. Now, it kind of remains steady in through the summertime. You'll actually see a little bit of a dip from the spring because people are on vacation, kids are off school, they're out enjoying the summer, and then you'll see a little bit of a pickup right before kids are about to go back into school. However, heading into the winter, December, January, where we are now, February, this is when the real estate market really starts to slow down. People don't want to list their homes in the winter. A lot of people don't want to move in the winter. However, you took advantage of it this year. Doesn't really matter because winter has been amazing so far. But again, we get those cold snaps. I helped a client move last year and I think it was minus 27. I forgot my winter boots, so I was really cold helping him move. But again, it's just because of the weather here. We get legit winters, it gets super cold. People don't want to list their houses and lots of buyers aren't looking to buy. So the real estate market definitely takes a dip. All right, let's take a look at some of the pros of buying a home in the winter if you're a buyer in the market. So like we talked about, there is less people looking to buy because of the temperatures and they don't want to move in the winter. So what that can mean is that there's going to be less competition for you as a buyer. There's going to be less people looking for homes. So potentially less opportunity or less potential of going into competing offers. It's always nice to be, you are the only one writing the offer on that home, because at that point, potentially you can get it under asking price. If you are going into competing offers, that's when you're starting to pay asking price or above. And it's just a little bit more stressful. Lots of people don't want to go into multiple offer situations.
Quite a house you have here.
And
We want to buy it.
Way under asking and with multiple contingencies. Thank you for accepting.
not a chance in hell.
We can negotiate the price.
I would never sell to the likes of you.
All right, one of the questions that I seem to get asked a lot about moving in the winter is, because there's less competition, because there's less buyers looking at listings, will I be able to negotiate that seller down a little bit more than I normally would, say in the spring market or the summertime? If you would ask me this question a few years ago when we were in a buyer's market, absolutely. But in this market right now, probably not, guys. We are still definitely in a seller's market. The inventory here is very, very low, especially in certain areas like Calgary, but even in central Alberta around the Red Deer area, we're at just over 2 months of inventory, which is the key factor in determining, how well things are going to sell. So probably not in this market. The interest rates have started to stabilize. Some major banks are even offering some lower rates than what they were, which means more buyers are getting ready to come back in the market after that 1.5, 2 year pause that they've taken, wondering what the heck these interest rates are going to do. So just to sum that up and to set expectations, probably not. Every situation is going to be different. You never know what situation a seller is in, but we are definitely still in a seller's market. Sellers have the advantage. They know that. Realtors know that. They're advising their clients, so don't have that expectation. Now, some of the cons of buying in winter, obviously it's cold outside. You're going to be moving in the cold temperatures, which sucks. Not a huge deal. People do it all the time. But inspections can be a little bit tougher. Not a huge deal, not some crazy stuff, but for example, the roof is covered with snow. The inspector usually flies their drone up there. They have a good look at the roof. If that roof is covered in snow, obviously you can't see the roof. So you might be missing something underneath there. There's lots of systems and things that we can't test in the wintertime. For example, AC units, air conditioning. You can't test those when it's below plus 14 outside, unfortunately. That's not even that cold. So it sucks. You could move into your new house, you go to fire up that air conditioning on your first hot day in the summer, and it doesn't work. And unfortunately, there's nothing we can do about that.
It's too hot in here.
Other minor things like sump pumps. You won't be running those in the winter. You don't want water in the lines. Sump pumps aren't super expensive. They're a few $100, but if you get water in those lines throughout the winter here, they can freeze up and it's going to wreck it. So there is some limitations when it comes to doing inspections in the wintertime. So those are some things to be aware of. So there are, a few limitations and drawbacks when buying a home in the winter when it comes to things like inspections and getting a very, very thorough inspection. There's obviously, because of the weather and the conditions, there's lots of things that are not going to be able tested and you might miss something. So definitely something to consider if you are making that move in the winter. All right, let's get into some tips and advice for navigating the winter here in Alberta. First off, we talked about the driving conditions. Let's touch on those again. You got to slow down and give yourself lots of time to get wherever you're going. You can't leave, at that same time like you were in the summertime. If you had a half hour to get to work, you're definitely going to want to allow yourself a little bit more time, because a lot of the times, especially going down the highway too, especially on that first snowfall as well, there can be a ton of accidents. The highway can be backed up, and just because of the road conditions, you're going to be traveling much slower than you normally would be. And you definitely want to have winter tires. Don't let anyone talk you into all season tires. You're gonna have a hell of a time driving around Alberta in the winter unless you have winter tires. So do not make that mistake.
What's the matter, Roman? Forgot the snow tires? Adam?
Now, it's ideal if you have an attached garage and a heated garage. You can park your car in the wintertime. It's gonna be a lot more enjoyable in the morning when you're getting to go to work or something like that. However, if you don't have an attached garage, it's not a big deal. I actually had an attached garage just about in all the homes that I've had since I've started purchasing homes. I've never parked in my garage once. I always use my garage for other stuff. Yeah, you got to start your vehicle a little bit sooner, but one thing that's super important to have is a block heater on your vehicle. So that block heater, you plug it in at night, it keeps your engine warm. That way, when you go to start your car in the morning, you're not, oh shit, I got a dead battery, now I'm late for work, and you're scrambling. Now, the climate here is very dry. So a lot of people are moving here from out of province. They're moving here from really humid provinces where the snow is really heavy. It is a pain in the ass to shovel that stuff off. It is super heavy, wet, damp. We don't get the big ice storms we have here because that snow is so light and fluffy. As long as you're staying on top of it, it's very easy to get rid of. Shovel it before people drive on it and pack it down. Have yourself a good shovel, and if you want to invest in a snowblower, they make getting rid of the snow a lot of fun. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Just a few tips to think about and some things to navigate when you're moving to Alberta within the wintertime. If you did, please hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and click the notification bell so you're notified every week when I put out a new video. And if you would like any help with real estate needs, use this info popping up. Get a hold of me any way you want. Cheers, I'll see you next week.